Andrew Hutchings here, still not a licensed physician, still never giving medical advice, purely educational and informational. And this video is about ivermectin, a medication I've taken several times. Well, let's see how many times I've taken it for the common cold. So 1, 2, 3, and this is my 4th time taking it for that common cold. But this time when I got the common cold, it was much more mild. I actually kind of dismissed it as not being the common cold because I didn't want to think like that. But the reality is that I say it was because I feel a lot better now that I've taken the ivermectin for 2 days. So I was sick and just not getting better. Like, the sore throat went away, but the bone and tendon soreness remained, and the tiredness. I got energy for an hour in the morning, and then I'm already tired. I worked through it. I went to the gym a lot, as I always do. Luckily, I didn't have that many classes, and the classes I do have don't require much studying. But because I did, besides the soreness in my body, I didn't feel very sick. So it allowed me to notice the effects of the ivermectin much more. Plus, I waited I don't know if it was a week or 2, let's just say 10 days. I let myself be sick for 10 days, whereas in the past I took it right away. So I couldn't really discern the effects of the ivermectin from the effects of the common cold. This time I could. And I suspected this actually because in the past I would get better for the most part from the common cold, but visual disturbances would remain. What I mean by that is kind of like drunk vision. And I always suspected that it was the ivermectin because it seemed to just last and last and last while all the other symptoms went away. And I would take the ivermectin, thinking that maybe eventually this will go away too because it's a symptom of the sickness, but it never would. So I stopped taking the ivermectin, and then it would go away. So I suspected it was the ivermectin. And this time, it confirmed it because I did not have this symptom of the vision stuff until I started taking the ivermectin. And I take 40 milligrams a day, just so you know, 20 in the morning, 20 at night. And on top of that, I noticed metabolic changes, which makes sense considering the pharmacology of ivermectin. One of its pharmacological effects is to increase GABA. And I've taken a lot of GABAergic drugs in my life, prescribed by doctors, and I know exactly how they make me feel. I hate being on GABAergic drugs nowadays. I hate that decrease in metabolism. I hate the muscle weakness. I hate the slow mentality. I just hate GABAergic. I love them as a medicine when they're important and when they're needed, but to just randomly take them, I would never do that. It's amazing how kids think they're recreational drugs. They're not. So I really realized the GABAergic effects of the ivermectin this time, because before, I could notice the visual stuff, but I was pretty sick. So I didn't notice the metabolic changes, the muscle relaxation. This time I could really feel it, and my wife also, because like I said, I wasn't so sure that I was really sick. Also, I got this weird blood work result where my estrogen was crashed for no reason. So I attributed my sore legs and sore bones and sore tendons to low estrogen. I didn't know why it was low, but I thought, I'm probably tired with all this soreness because of low estrogen. So in the back of my mind, I knew I was still sick, but I wanted to attribute it to the estrogen. But then my wife came over a few days ago, and she got the same symptoms after 1 day of being here, which showed to me and to us that actually it's not my low estrogen, I'm still sick, and that's what's causing all this. So my wife also is taking ivermectin now, feeling much better, because she was sleeping 13 hours a night, having like no energy to walk around. And we could, like, I noticed that on benzodiazepines, for example, I get this icky, slow metabolism feeling. When it feels really disgusting is, I don't know if you've had a cronut, but I like cronuts. Normally, I've got a pretty good metabolism. I'm a very active guy. If I want to eat a cronut, I can handle that fat and sugar, and my body's going to use it. Now, if I take benzodiazepines for some reason and I eat a cronut, my metabolism is slower, it just feels like putting grease in my body, like just bogging it down. Like it doesn't need all those calories, all that sugar, all that fat. It just feels gross. And I got a little bit of that feeling on the ivermectin. But actually the visual disturbances annoy me the most because, believe it or not, I don't like having like intoxicated vision where I'm extra sensitive to light and things are kind of moving. It's not too bad, but it's a little bit annoying. It's enough that I decided to lower my dose to 30 milligrams since I'm not that sick. I figured 30 should be enough. I'm also taking GABA, but I started that after the ivermectin. So yeah, all this stuff is from the ivermectin, not the GABA. And today I ordered a 500 milliliter beer. I drink a lot of beer, but as I'm drinking it, I remember, ivermectin is GABAergic. Like, it's actually very, like, compared to a benzodiazepine, it's not very GABAergic, but compared to water, yeah, it's pretty GABAergic. In other words, it does have significant GABAergic properties. So when I'm drinking this beer, I'm thinking, like, this is going to potentiate with the ivermectin. You know, it doesn't make sense that it would be, like, lethal, because, like, I can feel that I'm not that GABA'd out. But I still looked up some medical studies. Turns out it's plenty safe to mix the two. I like to confirm what I think. And I drink maybe 70% of the beer. My wife drank 30% of it. She doesn't drink much. Actually, I just saw my vision go like that right now. But both of us really noticed that we felt a lot more intoxicated than we should feel from that beer. I mean, not so intoxicated. It's not like we were drunk or anything. It's just, it hit much harder and we were much more relaxed. Like if you've ever taken benzodiazepines and gone and walked up a hill, you know that it takes some effort. Like it feels a lot better to walk downhill when you're nice and relaxed, not uphill. And to like power walk real fast. You don't really feel like pushing yourself like that if you're on benzodiazepines. So we were on the ivermectin plus a little bit of alcohol, and we could feel like we were really mellowed out when we were walking. My wife said that like it was like really effortful to push herself to walk kind of fast. Not really effort, but like more effort than usual. In other words, we could feel it. But yeah, important part is that we're both feeling a lot better. Like I wasn't feeling that bad. Like it sounds real bad to say that my legs were sore and my tendons were sore. Like yeah, it was uncomfortable and I was real tired. But you know, I was still going to class, going to the gym, going to MMA. That's life. And you can't blame me. Technically, I didn't know I had the common cold, so it's not like I'm just trying to spread it to people. But I'm also living here in Belarus where you don't really do anything when you get the common cold. Like if you get really sick, yeah, you don't want to be an a-hole. You want to, like, this is the one time I will say that I would wear a mask. Like when I got it before this year, the one day that I was really sick, I wore a mask that day. One day. Because the next day I took ivermectin and it made things a lot better. Figured I don't really need to wear a mask. But yeah, here you don't do much if you get the common cold. Some people stay home, a lot of people don't. A lot of people have to go to their jobs, they're not gonna stay home. But it's just part of life. It's like you get a little, like in the old days, even when I was in high school, it's like people got sick, you go to school. You don't You didn't even wear a mask back then if you got sick. It's like you get sick, you go to school, that's that. People get sick, that's life. People have forgotten that. I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Check out my other videos. Check out my Instagram, natural_true_fitness. If you consider me natural after that real strong stuff I took. Actually, I can show it to you. And I've got a website, andrewhutchings.org, where you can hire me for consultations, coaching, whatever, for training, for supplements, for special supplements, but you don't need them. And also I've got a book on tendinitis called A Systematic Guide to Defeating Tendinitis. If you've got tendinitis, I would get it ASAP. Get rid of your pain, start enjoying life again because you never get time back. Amazon can probably get it to you the quickest. I don't have any ivermectin out right now. I don't feel like going in the other room, so bye.